Hello, welcome back to another video, or welcome to my video. If you don't even know who I am, and it's kind of sad because today I'm talking about something that I didn't really want to talk about publicly until I was really sure of it. But I think I'm genderqueer. For those who didn't hear it, genderqueer. But yeah, I think I'm genderqueer. Pretty much positive that I am. Kind of got most of this definition from WebMD. Genderqueer means someone who does not follow binary gender norms or gender roles, stuff like that. I think the word was invented in like the 1990s or something like that for people was trying to figure out a word for people who were queer when it comes to gender. Like they didn't really fit into gender norms. So it was like, what do we call these people? Genderqueer, I guess. It's been around for a while. So kind of to get into talking about me, I've always felt weird about being put into the woman girl box, but I definitely didn't want to be put into man or boy box. Gender never really mattered to me. Like personally, I never really remember caring that I'm a woman. The only time where I care about it if it's like for societal reasons, like I can't be too crazy about being in certain places as a female or female presenting, because I do have boobs. And another thing I realized is that I never really liked being treated as a woman or like as a girl. I don't want to be treated as a woman, but I also don't want to be treated like a man. There is a difference, how people, I wouldn't treat differently, but most people in the world, they see a woman, they treat them a certain way. And when they see a man, they treat them a certain way. They see a queer, they run away. Just kidding. Where am I? It's kind of sad. Anyways, what the heck? Sorry, I thought something was attacking me. But yeah, like I said, I don't want to be treated or seen as a woman. I also don't want to be treated or seen as a man. I want to be treated and seen as a person, just a person in a gender neutral way. And I don't know if that makes sense. The people know what I mean. Do you? And I've realized, these type of feelings and thoughts that I've been having, that I've been feeling that way for years. I just never really knew what to call it or what it was that I was feeling or I was thinking. I don't know. I realized I was happy on online spaces like, games or like on certain apps, and people would either look at my picture and be a little confused on what gender I am. Some pictures I look more gender neutral, and on some pictures I look more feminine, so because I kind of have feminine features, I realized I was happy when people were confused or unsure about what my gender was. And a lot of times with my voice, they either think I'm a little boy. One time I was mistaken as a gay man. Basically, I'm happy, but I'm not happy because I want people to think I'm a boy or happy because of this or that. I'm happy because they're wrong. But most of the time it does get to the point I'm like, haha, I'm actually a woman. Like every time I disclose like I'm a woman, I'm a girl, it's none of this. It always feels weird to say. Like I'm straining it. Like I don't want to say it, but it's like, what else am I going to say? That just made me think, why does it feel so weird to say that? I'm a woman. I'm a girl. That's all I've ever known myself to be, but why does it feel so weird and wrong? And sometimes, honestly, I don't disclose it at all, or I don't correct people, because sometimes I don't see the point. Sometimes I don't want to be treated differently. Sometimes I just don't want people to see anything and just be wrong. Plus, like most of the time when I call myself a woman or a girl, it kind of feels more like as a joke. I'm either making a joke like I'm girl boss or I'm girly pop or something like that, but even when I'm not joking, it feels like I'm telling a joke when I'm like, hey, I'm a woman. And then as time went on, I realized that using apps or playing games or whatever platform where you have to either choose male or female, boy or girl, that stuff started to frustrate me. And I never really knew why I felt frustrated about it. And eventually I would ultimately choose female because that's all I've ever known. And it started to bother me because I would feel off when I chose female, and I'm just like, why do I feel this way? Like more and more as time went on, I'm hesitating more and more to choose the female button. Eventually, when I had the chance, I didn't choose a gender. I started saying prefer not to say, and it felt right. It felt like I wasn't being pushed into a box. I wanted to be out the box, And every time I kept, hesitating to choose the female button, definitely didn't want to choose the male button because I don't feel that way. Picking the non-binary option started to look a little tasty to me, but I always felt that calling myself non-binary felt a little more extreme than how I felt. I kept thinking about it, but the they them pronouns started to look kind of good. Do you guys like my mushroom light? Very gay. Yay, mushroom light. Anyways, as time went on, that feeling of uncertainness wasn't something I wanted to brush aside anymore. I know there's people who don't like labels and stuff, but I'm the type of person who loves labels, and I love words that describe things, like an explanation. It helps me organize, mentally organize things. One day I was looking at, stuff about sexualities or things about gender. I don't really know. I was looking about what? I don't even know what I was looking for. I think I was probably looking at non-binary stuff because I was questioning it, but I still didn't feel that non-binary was the word I was looking for. And then from the corner of my eye, I caught a glimpse of the beautiful genderqueer and instantly felt a connection. I was like, oh my gosh, gender queer? That's what I've been feeling this whole time. I started researching on what it means, signs of it, reading and watching, listening to people who are genderqueer, and I started speaking to people who identify as genderqueer, and I found that I relate so much to them. I even spoke about it online on Reddit, and I was like, this is how I feel. It's just genderqueer. And they're like, yeah, pretty much, or kinda. I don't know. They're like, it's kind of up to you. For the longest time, I went around telling people I would never call myself they, them. I would never call myself non-binary because that's not how I felt. So I would never call myself that. Look at me now, using they, them pronouns, but I also still use she, her pronouns. Platforms and stuff where I feel comfortable, I call myself genderqueer. When it comes to medical things, I call myself a female in the term of sex. I just use it in its literal sex terms. And the reason I still use she, her pronouns is because I never really felt like people calling me she, her ever bothered me. Another reason why, I didn't think that I would ever use they, them pronouns, because I was like, I'm totally fine with she, her pronouns. It's just what I'm used to. I've been used to using she, her pronouns, and I don't find a problem. I don't feel any weird way about it, so why not keep it? Even though I go by she, her pronouns, I don't want people to go around calling me a woman, look at this woman, I wouldn't want people to say that. I would want them to say, look at this person. I wouldn't want people calling me princess or queen, unless it's as a joke. But it's also the same with king or prince or anything like that. I don't want to be called that. Another reason where I started thinking something's weird is when I was like, I don't want to be a queen, I don't want to be a king, just call me a knight, because I don't want to be the woman or the man, I want to be the knight. They wear armor, and that's all that matters, and you don't know what they are. And I think that's where the they, them pronouns start kicking in. Hopefully you can make sense of what I'm trying to say, because a bitch is struggling, and I'm that bitch. I haven't really fully or 100% claimed the genderqueer or they, them pronouns because I'm new in the non-binary space. I've known non-binary people, but I've never been in it before, and I'm new to it, and I'm kind of still new to learning about the non-binary spaces. Being too quick to claim something that I'm not familiar with, it can be a little scary. I am comfortable in calling myself genderqueer and using she, they pronouns at this very moment. I think she, they is here to stay. I'm Bumble BFF. I have myself as genderqueer using she, they pronoun. And on Instagram, I sneakily change my pronouns from she, her to she, they, because there are some people I know who won't be too happy about that. Just saying. Because, I don't really have anyone in my personal life that are open-minded enough to be okay with that sort of stuff. I'm just not ready to scream about my gender and sexuality from the rooftops yet. But I'm building up the courage. Just like I built up the courage to make a video about this. I built up the courage, recently to post this video because people have given me a positive and supportive space in my YouTube, like almost every video, there's positive people. I hardly get negative comments, and even if I do, probably gonna delete them because I want this my YouTube space to kind of stay positive. I really appreciate that. Thank you everyone for developing this space for me and other viewers and subscribers who needs that positive space. So keep things positive, and I'm absolutely thankful for the more than 500 subscribers. I appreciate every single subscriber. So anyways, please leave a like and comment about your experience if you can relate in any sort of way. You don't even have to be genderqueer yourself. If you related to anything in this video, leave a comment. Thanks for watching. I love you guys. I can finally go to bed.